Listen, you're convinced she's lost interest. You're seeing her distance and reading it as rejection. Her short replies, her silence, the way she seems to pull away, you're taking all of it as proof she's over you, done, moved on. But what if I told you that the exact opposite might be true? What if the colder she's acting right now, the more space she's putting between you, the more she's actually thinking about you? Yeah, I know it sounds backwards. It sounds almost insane. But stick with me because this is where most guys get it completely wrong and walk away at the very moment she's starting to spiral about them in her head. There's one particular signal, one almost invisible clue that cuts through all the confusion and shows you she's far more invested than she's letting on. When you finally see it, you're going to mentally replay every single interaction you've had with her and go, "Holy crap, how did I miss this?" Today, I'm going to walk you through the hidden signals that prove she's thinking about you way more than her outward behavior suggests. Even when she's acting distant, even when she's giving you almost nothing to work with, even when every obvious sign screams not interested. And here's the thing, almost the massive mistake most guys make when she pulls away nobody talks about. There's actually a well-demented psychological pattern that kicks in when a woman feels strong attraction but is terrified of showing it. Once you understand how this pattern works, you'll stop misreading women's signals for good. But before we get to the signs, let's talk about the massive mistake most guys are making right now. The one that keeps them confused, anxious, and usually walking away too soon. Picture this scenario because I bet you've lived it. She used to reply faster. Now it takes her half a day or longer to answer a simple text. When you see her in person, she's polite, but kind of flat. Almost overly casual. She doesn't start conversations anymore. When you're hanging out, she treats you like you're just another person in the room. So your brain starts spinning the same story most guys tell themselves. I guess I misread everything. She was never that into me. Time to let it go. But here's what's really happening, and this is going to turn your whole perspective upside down. When a woman is strongly attracted to someone, her nervous system doesn't always respond with open enthusiasm the way a man's often does. Men tend to move toward what they want. They pursue. They close distance. They make it obvious. Women, especially when the feelings are intense, often do the reverse. They create distance. They withdraw. They female psychology. Explained why strong attraction causes withdrawal. Watch how you handle that withdrawal. Why? Because for many women, strong attraction comes wrapped in vulnerability. Vulnerability brings fear. Fear of being rejected, fear of looking too easy, fear of losing control of the situation, fear of getting hurt. So her brain flips into self-pee protection mode. It says, if I show too much interest, I might get burned. Better to pull back, better to stay safe. And here's the twist that trips almost everyone up. The more she's actually thinking about you, the more you're living raunchy in her head, the stronger that protective instinct can become. She creates emotional distance precisely because she feels so much. Her outward coldness is often a shield for private obsession. Now, let's get into the actual evidence, the 7 signs that cut through the surface level she's not interested story, and show you what's really going on inside her mind. Before we dive in, do me a quick favor. If this is already making you think about one specific person and how she's been acting, drop a like so I know this is hitting home. What's coming next is going to give you a whole new lens. Sign number 1, she keeps tabs on you when she thinks you won't notice. This is one of the biggest tells, and most guys completely sleep on it. She's not staring at you openly. That would be too obvious. Instead, you catch her watching sign number 1. She secretly keeps tabs on you. Stories, likes, glances you from across the room. And the second your eyes meet, she looks away fast like she's been caught stealing. Or maybe you notice her eyes tracking you when you're talking to other people. Online, it looks different, but it's the same principle. She's one of the first people to view your stories. She's liking posts you made weeks ago. She's checking your profile at odd hours. Why does this matter? Because sustained attention is never accidental. When she's secretly observing you, she's also building mental pictures, imagining what you're like in different situations, replaying conversations, picturing moments that haven't happened yet. That's not friendly curiosity. That's emotional investment. Sign number 2, she remembers tiny throwaway details you mentioned ages ago. This one starts to make the pattern undeniable. You said offhand that you had a big meeting coming up. 3 weeks later, she asks how it went. You mentioned you're allergic to shellfish. Next time you're at dinner, she casually checks if the sauce has shellfish in it. You told her once that you used to play soccer as a kid, and now she brings up a random match she saw and asks if you still follow the sport. Most people forget 80-90% of casual conversation within a day or two. Sign number 2 remembers tiny details. You mentioned ages ago, but when someone's thinking about you a lot, their brain tags and stores anything connected to you. If she's pulling up details you barely remember telling her, it's because those moments have been living in her head longer than they've lived in yours. Sign number 3. Her friends know who you are and they act weird around you. This is one of the most reliable signals and it's hard to fake. You walk into a room where her friends are and they exchange quick glances with her. One of them smirks or raises an eyebrow. Someone says something like, "Oh, so this is him," and then pretends they didn't say it. Or they drop your name in conversation way too casually, like they've already talked about you. Women process feelings by talking them through with friends. If you're showing up in those conversations, especially if you've barely met her friends, that means you've been a recurring topic. She's shown them your texts. She's asked for their opinion. She's recounted interactions word for word. Her friend group is already emotionally invested in whatever is or isn't happening between you two. Sign number 4. This is the one that usually makes guys go, "Wait, really?" She reaches out of the blue, then vanishes again. This is the pattern that confuses men the most. And it's sign number 3. Her friends know about you and act weird, also one of the strongest signs she's actually hooked. She sends you a random meme at 2 p.m. on a Tuesday, or a "this made me think of you" link, or just a "hey, how's your week going" out of nowhere. You reply. The conversation flows for a bit. It feels good. Then silence. 3 days, 5 days, a week. You're left thinking, did I mess up? Did I come on too strong? Here's what's usually happening instead. She missed you. The urge to connect with you became too strong to ignore, so she reached out. But the second she hit send, anxiety flooded in. Was that too much? Does he think I'm desperate? Did I just give away all my power? So, she retreats again to regain control. Psychologists call this approach avoidance conflict. She wants to be close. Fear pushes her away. The tension builds again. She reaches out. Repeat. And here's the clincher. The timing isn't random. She tends to reappear right when she thinks you might be slipping away, right when the silence has stretched long enough that she worries you're losing interest. If she weren't thinking about you constantly, she wouldn't care about the timing. Sign number 5. She acts noticeably different around you than she does with sign number 4. Random reach-outs, then sudden vanishing most people. Not always flirty different. Sometimes it's the opposite. Maybe she gets quieter. Maybe her laugh sounds a little more nervous. Maybe she fidgets more, plays with her necklace, adjusts her sleeves, checks her phone, then puts it down again. Her voice might go a little higher or softer when she talks to you. These aren't signs of indifference. Indifference looks relaxed, neutral, unbothered. When someone makes your nervous system light up, good or bad, your body reacts. If she's subtly more tense, more self-conscious, more on around you than with other people, it's because you matter to her emotionally. People don't build emotional armor around people who feel insignificant. Sign number 6, she tests your reactions. Most guys see this as mixed signals or games and get frustrated. It's usually not conscious manipulation, it's instinct. She might casually mention another guy to see if you flinch. She might cancel plans last minute to watch how you respond. She might go quiet for a few days to see whether you chase, get mad, or stay steady. These are unconscious security checks. She's thinking about you seriously enough that she needs to know, are you emotionally stable? Can you, sign number 5, acts noticeably different, nervous around you, handle uncertainty? Are you going to fall apart if I'm not perfectly available? When a woman starts testing, it often means she's weighing whether you're worth the risk of opening up. Sign number 7, you're starting to feel the uncertainty, and that's actually part of the process. Here's the final piece. If you're feeling confused right now, that's not necessarily a failure. It's information. The man who can sit in that uncertainty without desperately chasing or angrily withdrawing, that's the man who usually ends up winning the deeper trust. Women who feel strong attraction but protect themselves fiercely are looking for someone who can handle the tension without forcing an answer. Chasing too hard scares her. Giving up too soon confirms her fear that you weren't sign number 6. Subtly test your reactions serious. The middle path, staying calm, staying present, giving her space to come to you, is usually what shifts things. So, here's the bottom line. Stop believing the surface story her behavior is telling you. Start paying attention to the quieter, stranger, more contradictory signals. They usually tell a very different story. If this video made you see someone's behavior in a new light, drop the word "seeing" in the comments so I know you're picking up sign number 7. The uncertainty you're feeling is part of her process, what I'm putting down. And if you want the next step, how to turn this awareness into actual movement without looking needy, hit subscribe. We're going deeper in the next one. See you there.